Daniel Goleman is a psychologist and a journalist who brought emotional intelligence to the public's knowledge with his massive 1995 bestseller, Emotional Intelligence. He quickly followed this up by 2 further best-selling books, which became quickly widely known in the workplace community. First, there was Working with Emotional Intelligence, on which he based a popular Harvard Business Review article, and secondly, there was The New Leaders. Both of these books deserve to be widely read by any serious manager, and I'll put links to them in the description below. In this video, I want to summarise what Goleman has to say about emotional intelligence. It's hard to know whether Goleman's books would have been as successful had it not been for his 1998 Harvard Business Review article, What Makes a Leader? And I'll put a link to that in the description below. But without a doubt, that article had a huge impact on the business community. I remember when it came out, people were talking about it in the offices where I was working at the time. Emotional intelligence is all about your ability to understand and to work with both your emotions and the emotions of the people around you. As a result, it's a powerful skill to have in the workplace. So it's no great surprise that Goleman's presentation of the ideas around emotional intelligence cut through very quickly. He had the psychological understanding from his own training, but he's also a journalist and is able to write compellingly about these ideas. And perhaps what's most important about the way that Goleman presented it was that he cut emotional intelligence up in a new way, combining what Baron presented as 15 factors into originally 5 simple components of emotional intelligence, which he later simplified down to 4. In this video, we will cover the 5 original factors that he covered in the book Emotional Intelligence, but I'll also show you how he consolidated 2 of them into 1 in Working with Emotional Intelligence and The New Leaders. At the crux of Goleman's argument is that we can all be more effective and more productive in our private lives, in his original book, and in our working lives in the subsequent 2, if we have greater levels of emotional intelligence. Our ability to understand and regulate our emotions in high-pressure situations gives us an advantage. And our ability to understand the emotions of others and to motivate them, enthuse them, and influence them also gives us a great advantage, particularly when we're trying to manage and lead people around us. The first of Goleman's 5 components of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. And this is your ability to understand yourself and your emotions and what drives you. It's about your ability to understand your goals, what's important to you, and your values. It gives you a measure of self-confidence, but also a valid understanding of your strengths and of your weaknesses. The Greek philosophers said, first know thyself, and self-awareness is about knowing who you are, what you stand for, what's important to you, and what your current emotional state is. But the next factor, self-regulation, takes that a step further and gives you the ability to manage that emotional state, to manage your drives and your impulses and your responses to stressors and to events in general. Good self-awareness is the foundation of self-regulation, and we need self-regulation because sometimes your drives and your impulses can be counterproductive, sometimes even destructive. Therefore, your ability to regulate those emotional responses, to regulate those drives, can give you a real edge in life. Self-regulation also gives you the ability to adapt to new situations and to seize the initiative. As a result, self-regulation helps you to get the best from yourself. In his first book, Goleman talked about motivation as your ability to motivate yourself. It's all about things like perseverance, resilience, and diligence. In later books, however, Goleman incorporated these components into his description of self-regulation, your ability to influence your own choices, your own decisions, and your own responses. Self-awareness, self-regulation, and self-motivation are all intrapersonal skills. The next two of Goleman's components are interpersonal skills, and the first of them is empathy. Empathy is your ability to recognize and interpret and understand the emotional states and the feelings of the people around you. When you can do this, it gives you options in the way that you respond, options that will allow you to respond more effectively. And of course, empathy is also a sensitivity to all sorts of cultural factors, which is very important in a world of work which can now span the whole globe and all of the different cultures and subcultures within it. And empathy is the foundation of social skills, your ability to work well with the people around you. Social skills are about your ability to build, manage, and develop relationships. They include things like leadership, motivation, influence, conflict management, and collaboration. If self-regulation helps you get the best from yourself, social skills help you get the best from other people. While the most widely used tools in the world of professional psychology for measuring emotional intelligence is the EQI developed by Reuven Bar-On, there are a number of tools to measure emotional intelligence based on Goleman's model. The first of them was the Emotional Competence Inventory, ECI, which was developed in 1999. And then came a newer model, the Emotional and Social Competence Inventory, ESCI, developed in 2007. This was largely developed for the world of work, and there is also a university edition developed by Goleman and Richard Boyatzis. And finally, it's worth mentioning the lighter weight Emotional Intelligence Appraisal developed in 2001, which can be used either as a self-perception tool or for 360-degree perceptions. Without a doubt, this book and the others that followed it have made a huge impact on the world at work. Now it is fair to say that every manager and supervisor and leader needs to understand the core concept behind emotional intelligence. I'll talk in another video about the critiques made of the emotional intelligence frameworks, but suffice to say that all the evidence seems to suggest that while we can't prove definitively a causal link between training people in emotional intelligence and getting better results, there is absolutely no evidence that it's harmful, and there is some correlational evidence that it really does help. And of course, it's hard to see how understanding people better, understanding yourself better, and being better able to manage people is going to do anything other than improve your performance as a supervisor, as a manager, or as a leader. Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it and learned from it. I'll be creating loads more great management courses videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of them. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and in the meantime, keep learning.